Well, hello everybody. I am Mike at Filmboy24. Today, we're going to try to give at least a couple of answers to the age-old question, should you, could you, and would you still shoot Kodachrome K40? Well, I can't answer all of those questions for you, but I can tell you what I do with Kodachrome K40. Now, I used to shoot a lot of K40 back in the 80s and 90s. It's the most beautiful film I think Kodak has ever produced. And it was their proprietary processing that made it so beautiful. The saturation and the colors, it's really never been matched again. Sadly, those days are gone. So what do you do with the thousands and thousands and thousands of cartridges that are still floating around out there? Well, really the only thing you can do with them is shoot them and process them as a black and white image. The process they had, the K12 and later K14 process, actually used color couplers to, dare I say, insert the color into the film. It's a very complicated process, one that's never really been duplicated again. It's been tried, some people have gotten a little bit close, but it's never really been duplicated again, and I'm not holding out high hopes that it ever will be. Black and white. Now there's tons of different processes you can put this film through. There are some people that will reverse this film so you can project it, and there are people like me that just like to make a negative out of it. It's way, way easier. It eliminates a couple of steps. And you typically get, well, mixed results. Here's where we get into the age-old battle of should you shoot Kodachrome K40? Well, let's just take KA2, the predecessor of K40, out of the equation. Personally, no, I don't think you should ever shoot KA2 film, which is the 25-speed Kodachrome film that was just prior to the release of the K40. I've never had good luck with it. Maybe you do. I say don't shoot it. Shoot it if you want to. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'll probably still be okay sleeping at night. There's been some fierce arguments about this. So what I did is a couple of days ago, I took my favorite Canon 1014 XLS camera. I have 3 of these. And I took it to Sugar Mill Gardens. And I was on a mission. I took 2 rolls of K40. If you're not familiar with K40, it is a 40 ISO film originally. It is now probably advisable that you reduce that ISO by at least half, but a lot more depending on storage and age of the film. So what I did is I took a roll of K40 that expired or had a process before date of July 1979, as well as, and I don't have the box for that one because it was deteriorated badly and I threw it away, as well as a roll that has a process before date of March of 2004. Now, what are my results? Well, I took both films over there. It was a pretty nice day. And I will tell you up front that I rated the 2004 K40 at around ASA 20. I rated the 1979 expired film at around ASA 6. Well, that was wrong. The ASA 20 was really close. The ASA 6 was really off. Or dare I say, something was off. You see, there's no science anymore behind processing Kodachrome as a black and white. The science is test strips. So every time I process a roll of Kodachrome, you really need to do a test strip. My good friend Martin Bumgarden, who doesn't know I exist, told me quite a while ago that he does test strips for every single roll of film, Kodachrome and or Ektachrome E60, that he gets into his lab. And he does that because he has a lot of customers and he can't take that chance that it's going to process incorrectly. The process for what I use HC 110 pretty much for every black and white I develop. The process is anywhere from 3 to about 8 minutes in the developer. So I do 3 tests for every single roll. I do a 3-minute, a 5-minute, and a 7-minute test. Now I did that for both of these rolls, and I got basically 7 minutes. Looked like a pretty good medium for both, believe it or not. Typically the older stocks process in a lot less time than the newer K40 stocks. It didn't seem to be the case for these two particular rolls, because again, a lot of it depends on how it was stored over the years. These two films are essentially 25 years apart. They were produced about 25 years apart from each other. So the older one, I mean, it could have been stored in somebody's garage for the last 30 or 40 years. I don't know. I don't live there. Wherever it came from. I don't remember. It could have been stored in an attic, in a basement, in a garage, in a closet, in a car, in a boat, underwater. I don't know. The fresher stock, or the stock that expired in the 2000s era, I've had pretty good luck with. But I've done a lot of babbling about this, so I'll tell you what, let me show you the differences that I got and the reason now why I almost refuse to shoot any more Kodachrome K40 that has a process before date any time other than a year that starts with a 2. I'm going to show you why right now. Oh, disc camera. So there's Kodachrome for you. Now, obviously you can see why I probably will still continue to shoot some of the newer Kodachrome stocks until it's depleted. I have some more Kodachrome that was expired in 03, 04, 06. I think 06 is the freshest stock that I have. Remjet. That dirty, nasty, tar-filled Remjet. There's no getting around it. If you're going to shoot Kodachrome, you got to deal with Remjet. It's no fun. I'm actually trying to work on a little automated system to shoot the film, extract the film manually, and then a little machine that actually might remove that Remjet for you. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but stay tuned. I don't know. We might do a video on that one of these years. At any rate, if you can get around the disgust of that Remjet removal, and I will tell you this, I use baking soda and washing soda mixed, a 4 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon mix to either 1 or 1.5 liters of warm water to loosen the Remjet layer on K40 or any Remjet films. Most of the Remjet came off of the newer stock. Almost all of it came off during my pre-bath Remjet wash. Hardly any of it came off of my older stock. That's par for the course. I've developed lots and lots and lots and lots of this stuff in black and white, and that seems to always be the case. The older stock, the Remjet is tougher. Sometimes you got to scrub it a little bit to get it off of there. I will also mention that my newer stock, I had an issue winding it onto my Lomo. It's a rare issue. I'm gotten fairly good at the Lomo tanks over the last few years. The last 10 feet or so, or should I say the first 10 feet, the outer edge of the spiral, there was a mishap. Some of the film ended up on top of the spiraled film, crinkled up bad, touched, all over. It was a mess. So I essentially had to cut out about the first 10 feet of the newer stock, which is a shame because, as you can see, it really came out pretty well. I would rival it against some of the older black and white stocks. If you can get past the Remjet issue, I say go for it. Shoot the newer stocks. If you can't get past the Remjet issue, stay away from K40. Stay away from the older stocks. That's just my very subjective advice. I don't like it. I do like the newer stock. So there you have it. I'm finished with my discussion on Kodachrome K40. At least for now. At least for this video. One thing I'd like to mention really quickly. If you're interested, Thursday, February 18th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. his time, my good pal Ben Slutover, I know I said that wrong, over at Zero Budget Film School has graciously invited me to join him on his live Ben's Camera Show. So look for that. I'll put a link to his channel in my description. He's a funny British guy that is sort of like me. He's goofy and he loves to experiment with film. Check him out. He has a lot of fun content and he's an interesting character. I like him a lot. So we ought to have a good chat. So stay tuned for that. That is coming once again February 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time here in my state. So check your local time zones for the exact time. If by chance videos like this excite you, they excite me. If they excite you, do me a favor and subscribe. Really, do me a favor and subscribe. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, all of the people that have already subscribed and become part of this guy's little tiny niche film boy family. Also, don't forget to punch that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I know this can get out of hand very quickly. Let me know your thoughts on Kodachrome in general, Kodachrome K40 specifically now. And until next time, I'll see you on the next go-around.